Welcome back to TopIn Speaks podcast, guys. Listen, I hope you're having an awesome day. Right now, I'm battling the flu. It's flu season over here, and I'm dealing with that. Because I don't usually get the flu, but this year I did. And listen, guys, it is terrible, but we're pushing through. So today we want to talk about a concept that I recently learned, and it recently started to shift my perspective on how I approach life, especially when it comes to like sacrifice and success. Because people say in order to get successful, you have to make sacrifices. And I could tell you everything that I ever was successful at, there were sacrifices that had to be made. But this concept talks about sacrifice isn't just about giving something up. It's about intentionally choosing not to engage in things that don't align with your goals. And you might say, okay, I know that already, but I'll tell you this. It's simple as saying no to distractions, bad habits, and even saying no to some fun stuff. Even saying no to the stuff that we enjoy sometimes. And all of that to really make room for what truly matters. So today we're going to break this down and talk about sacrifices we make through the things that we do not do, Because I don't know about you, but we tend to think that sacrifice is about adding more stuff, working longer hours, grinding harder in the gym, putting in extra in a side hustle. But often the biggest sacrifices comes from the things that we choose to leave out of our lives. The things we choose to subtract. So success is a form of subtracting the negative things into your life. It's not necessarily an addition. For me, one of those things I had was to subtract out of my life, and I'm still struggling with it as we speak, is scrolling. And I'm sure you could relate to that. We spend so much time on our phones scrolling, and that is one of the things I had to subtract. But that might be easier to subtract than, let's say, having to remove unmotivated people from my life, people who were not helping me grow and that itself is a tough call to make. Having to remove people out of your life, is easier said than done. But that is what sacrifice really is. Sacrifice doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from focusing on the right things and letting go of the rest. And sometimes that includes people. That includes things we enjoy, and again, it might seem or sound easier said than done. But I'm telling you firsthand that it's not easy to really start subtracting things and people from your life that doesn't align with your goals or keeping you back from your goals, And, we could dive into some of the common areas where people, let's talk about some of the common areas where saying no will make a huge difference, Example for fitness, right? It's not just about hitting the gym. It's about skipping the late night snack to avoid excuses to miss your workout. Because here's the thing, right? Not doing is often harder than doing, right? It's easy to say yes and take on more. Like, oh yeah, I'll work late. Yeah, I will, put in some extra hours. Yeah, I'm going to start an extra hustle. But it's harder to say no when it comes to temptations. And that really takes discipline. That goes back to the core message, That's why I believe discipline is the foundation of success. And within discipline, you will understand that you have to sacrifice, and sacrifices are going to come. Think about this. How many times have you felt pulled into doing something because of the fear of missing out, FOMO or peer pressure? And it's really, really hard to resist. But those moments when you choose to prioritize your goals over, oh, my friends want to go to the club. Oh, my friends want to do this. Oh, you know what? The holiday's coming up and I can't afford to buy everybody's gifts. But you know what? It's like I have to because I'm feeling pressured. I don't want to look bad, etc. Or, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I don't want to overextend myself. I'm not going to do that because I have to prioritize my goals. And that is where the real growth happens. The real growth happens when you put your goals in front and you make that the only option rather than doing things you don't want to do just because of, again, peer pressure or FOMO. As what I said earlier, guys, it's harder to say no. It's very hard to say no, especially when it comes to temptations and people's expectations, For everyone, it looks different. But for me, it looked like Something simple as staying home and working on my podcast or hitting the gym when my friends wanted to go out. And it wasn't easy. It's still not easy, but it's like I have to choose what my priorities are. I have to choose to say no. Again, sacrifice is about what you don't do. You understand? So here's the question. How do you know what to cut out? How do you identify the things like, how do I know, Kyan, you telling us to say no, to cut stuff off, but how do we know what to cut off? For me, this is the list I compiled that worked for me. Number 1, identify what's stealing your time and energy. That might be scrolling on your phone, that might be a friend, that might be whatever it is. Identify what's stealing your energy. Ask yourself, does this activity align with my goal? Replace habits that drain you with ones that build you up. For example, as I said, if you're spending so much time on social media scrolling, ask yourself, should I spend this time working on a goal, exercising, or even just resting? You know what I'm saying? Because resting in itself should be a priority. And I'm speaking here, but I've definitely struggled with that because for this new year, I'm trying to more prioritize resting and recovery because that's something I really, really lacked in my life, And that is the list there of how you really figure out what to cut off. Again, it's going to vary to person, but you could use these metrics here to really identify what are the things you need to cut off, But by not doing certain things, you're creating space for what really matters. It's like cleaning out a cluttered closet, man. It's like really cleaning out a cluttered closet. You suddenly have room to put all types of stuff because you got rid of stuff that was just wasting space, stuff that you don't use, And when I stopped saying yes to everything, I found that my focus really improved and my stress levels went down a lot. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. You have to prioritize what your goals really are, and make sure that what you're doing aligns with where you want to be. So here's the takeaway, guys. The life you want isn't just about what you do. It's about what you don't do and what you're willing to stop doing. Because sacrifice isn't just about choosing to let go of what doesn't serve you. That is the concept that most people preach a lot, but that is not just what sacrifice is. Ask yourself, what is one thing I could stop doing that will move me closer to my goals? And really, really think about that. I ask myself that every day, and that's the reason why I have a schedule, and that's the reason why I always tell you guys having a schedule is a priority, So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for tuning to the episode of TopIn Speaks. If this message resonated with you in any way, you could share it, comment, hit me up on IG at Kyan_TOPIN, shoot me a message. Let's get it. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and remember, it's what you don't do that shapes your future. See you in the next episode. This is TopIn Speaks.